Hello, hello, hello everybody, and welcome back. We're looking now at question 2 on the 2017 Galois paper. Question 2 says, the breakfast restaurant has a special pricing day. If a customer arrives at the restaurant between 4:30 a.m. and 7 a.m., the time that they arrive in hours and minutes comes off the price that they pay in dollars and cents. Becomes the price that they pay in dollars and cents. For example, if a customer arrives at 5:23 a.m., they will pay $5.23. Okay. All right. So we got 3 light bulbs here and then 1 written question. Although, as we always do, we will try and justify everything to get those part marks in case our answers to the light bulb questions are not correct. So A part, Abdi arrived at 5:02 a.m., so he'll be paying $5.02. And Kaylee arrived at 5:10 a.m. In total, how much did they pay? Okay, can we read? Do we understand how this dollars and cents in terms of hours and minutes works out? Yeah. So not a whole lot to say here. We'll write Abdi pays $5.02. Kaylee pays $5.10. And we'll just add them up and get a total of $10.12 that they paid together. Okay, not so bad. B part, Robert arrived 10 minutes before Emily, and both arrived during the period of special pricing. Yay. In total, they paid $12.34. What were their arrival times? Alright, so we might think that, so let X be the amount that Emily pays, and Robert pays 10 cents less than that. But what if Emily arrived at, say, 5:02? Robert then arrived at 4:52, and he's not paying 10 cents less. He's paying, a good dollar less. Well, not quite a dollar less, but still. In total, they paid $12.34. So, actually, with 12 there, fairly certain. So 12 is the sum of the hours that they arrived. Robert couldn't have arrived at 5 and then Emily at 7, because there's not 10 minutes between 5 hours and 7 hours. 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. There's no way that's going to work. Even if Robert arrived at 5:59, Emily arrived at like 7:01. That is not a 10-minute difference. So the hours that they arrived can't be 5 and 7. So they both arrived at 6 something. Okay. So Robert pays $6 and something. Let's say AB. And Emily, it was Emily, right? Pays $6 and something else. But AB plus 10 more minutes is going to be CD. These guys are the minutes that they arrived. So, and we know AB plus CD must be 34. So this is 2AB plus 10. So AB is 24. AB is 12. So Robert paid $6.12 and Emily paid $6.22. And what did we want? What were their arrival times? Robert arrived at 6:12 a.m. Emily at 6:22 a.m. All right. So that wasn't so bad, but I mean, that's a little inexact. I did explain things, just I was expecting a bit more exactness. I don't like how hours go up only to 60 minutes. I think that's going to cause us some issues here. All right, C part, another light bulb. I mean, it didn't really matter because B's a light bulb. With D, I'll expect something a little harder. So C, Isaac and Jacob arrived together, and Carla arrived after. All three arrived during the period of special pricing. In total, they paid $18.55. What was the minimum amount that Carla could have paid? Ooh, okay. So, let's suppose Isaac and Jacob arrived at B minutes after A. That's going to be how I'm going to phrase this. So after A o'clock, and K arrived at C minutes after D o'clock. Things to note here: B and C both have to be less than 60, not less than or equal, less than 60. Okay, so I and J both pay $8 and B cents. K pays C dollars and D cents. And in total, we have $18.55. And that's going to be twice A plus twice B, because both Isaac and Jacob have to pay, plus C plus D over 100. Okay. Now there could be some carryover. So the 2B plus D might add up to more than 100. That's possible. Okay. Let's see here. So in total, this is 2A plus C plus 2B plus D over 100. Alright, so 2B plus D has got to be between 0 and, well, at most both of these could be 59. So that's going to be at most 180 minus 3, so 177. So we have two cases. 2B plus D is greater than or equal to 100, or 2B plus D is less than or equal to 100. Or is less than 100. Because it'll never be more than 200, so it won't be contributing $2 to the whole amount. At most, it could be 177 if everybody arrived at just a minute before the clock changed. Okay. So make this a little nicer and neater to read. Make that less than or equal a bit more prominent. Okay, so if B plus D is greater than or equal to 100, then that carries over. And in order to get that 55 out of 100, we'd have to have 2B plus D is equal to 155. Okay. So, 18 is then going to be 2A plus C plus 1. And so 17 is 2A plus C. And what do we want the minimum amount that Carla could have paid. Okay, and does it say Carla arrived after? Yeah, Carla definitely arrived after Isaac. So, what does that tell us? So Carla arrived after Isaac and Jacob. So C is definitely bigger than or equal to A. Now you can't say that D is bigger than or equal to B, because if Isaac and Jacob arrived at, say, 4:59, and Carla arrived 3 minutes later, yeah, Carla is still going to be paying more, but the minutes have reversed. Okay, so we can say something like that. And if we want to minimize the amount that is paid, C is the first thing we would want to minimize. So 17 is greater than or equal to 3A. So A could be 5 or 4. But it can't be 4, because then, well, no, it could be 4. So if A is 5, then that's 10, and C has got to be 7. If A is 4, then that's 8, and C has to be 9. That's impossible, because special pricing only happens between 4:30 and 7. So therefore, in this particular case, C is equal to 7. And A is equal to 5. B and D, they have to add up to 155. So 2B is at most 59 times 2, so it's at most 118. Therefore, D is at least 155 minus 118, which I will grab my calculator for. 37. So the minimum that Carla could have paid is 737 in this case. Okay, that doesn't mean that that's the minimum that Carla could have paid, period. Because we have another case. 2B plus D is 55. No carryover, in which case 17 is 2A plus, or sorry, not 17, 18 is 2A plus C. There's no plus 1 there. So once again, 18 is greater than or equal to 3A. A could be 6, and that would make C 6, and that would definitely be better than the C being 7 from before. A could also be 5, but then C would have to be 8, and that's outside the special pricing range. So C is 6, A is 6, and 2B plus D is equal to 55. Well, we can't have 2B equal to 55, but we could have 2B be equal to 54, and D equal to 1. That's as small as we can get it. So Carla pays, at minimum, $6.01. That is the smallest Carla can pay, because Carla has to arrive afterwards, and that made C greater than or equal to A. Okay, so if that's the case, oh, wait, no. Because if this is the case, A has to be less than or equal to C, but since they're both equal, and Carla arrives later, that means D has to be greater than or equal to B. Aha! So now, 55 has to be greater than or equal to 3B, and 55 divided by 3 is 18.33, so B is at most 18. So let's make B equal to 18. So 2 times 18 is 36, and that leaves D is equal to 19. So Carla pays at least $6.19. There we go. Almost fell into that trap. But no, if A and C are equal, and Carla does have to arrive after Isaac and Jacob. Okay, that was a lot going on there, but it's still a light bulb. So if we got the $6.19, we'd be fine. Although I do caution you, if you just put $6.01, you probably wouldn't have gotten the marks, and if you hadn't written anything else, you wouldn't have gotten any part marks. You would have just gotten 0. Okay, D part, the written part. Larry and Mio arrived separately during the period of special pricing. Nice. In total, they paid $11.98 to determine the ranges of time during which Larry could have arrived. Okay, we have to write everything up, which hasn't been my strongest suit for these ones. The minutes, it's weird. It's a weird calculation-based question. All right. So they arrived separately. We don't know if... I mean, there's sort of a symmetry going on here. We didn't say Larry and Mio arrived... that Mio arrived after Larry or anything like that. So we'll begin as we did with the Isaac, Jacob, and Carla situation. We'll say Larry arrived at AB. That's going to be my shorthand. B minutes after A o'clock. And Mio arrived at CD. So Larry pays A plus B out of $100. Mio pays C plus D out of $100. Okay, so we know 11 plus 98 over 100 must be A plus C plus B plus D out of 100. Now, B and D are minutes. Therefore, 0 is less than B, D less than or equal to 59. So B plus D must be between this particular range right here. Alright, so there is still potential for things to be carried over, or is there? B plus D over 100 needs to be equal to some whole number plus 98 over 100. But if I multiply everything through by 100, that means B plus D needs to be equal to 100n plus 98. So n's got to be 0, because if n were 1, we'd be looking at B plus D as 198. That didn't even happen when we had 3 minutes. So that tells me B plus D is equal to 98. And that's actually pretty significant. We have only that particular case. And then that tells me A plus C is equal to 11. Okay. So, there's not really a whole lot of extra information in the question. We don't have Larry arriving after Mio or anything like that, so that doesn't help. So I think we just sort of have to go hour by hour. Suppose Larry arrived after 4:30, but still before 5. What could he have done? So it looks like we got some cases. So cases, so A equals 4, that would mean C is 11. Okay, but, or not C is 11, C is 7, because 4 plus 7 have to be 11. But that would imply that D, oh, by the way, that would tell me that Carla couldn't arrive at 7 something earlier. That would have been a nice shortcut. Anyway, that tells me D would have to be 0 in this case. Right? Between 4:30 and 7 a.m. Okay. And that would tell me B is 98. That's ridiculous. B is less than 59. Okay, so nothing to do there. Now, how about A is 5 and C is 6? We won't have A is 7 by symmetry. In fact, I will just this is going to be the only case that matters, and then we'll say by symmetry you can also arrive at whatever other times. Okay, so C is 6, A is 5. And any times in here will do just fine. But we need B plus D needs to be equal to 98. So D is at most, 59. So that tells me subtract 59 from both sides. B is at least 39. And this is because D is less than or equal to 59. But we also have D is greater than or equal to 0. So B is less than or equal to B plus D, which is less than or equal to, well, which is equal to 98. So 39 is less than or equal to B is less than or equal to 98, but really that means 39 less than or equal to B less than or equal to 59, because that's at most what B can be. B could never be. You could never arrive 76 minutes after the hour. That doesn't work. So that tells me Larry can arrive from 5:39 all the way up to 5:59. And likewise, in this case, Mio would be arriving at 6:59 all the way down to 6:39. Now, by symmetry, so they have no order as to when they arrive. Unlike C part, where Carla had to arrive after Isaac and Jacob, we see Larry can arrive in the range (5:39 to 5:59) or 6:39 to 6:59. Okay, we don't have to deal with him arriving at 7 o'clock because, well, by symmetry, we already sort of dealt with that. If he arrives at 7 o'clock, yes, technically it's still in the regular pricing, but then Mio has to arrive at 4:98, which is not an actual time. So these are the ranges we get. And I think we could probably add a bit more explanation. I'm having trouble coming up with good sentences and explaining for this one, but there we go. And determine the ranges of times that Larry could have arrived. There it is. And I've got about as much explanation as I'm willing to put in for this one. And that wraps up question number 2. We've got 2 more questions to go on the contest. Question 3 will be the next one we take a look at. And I will see you guys for that one in the next video.